Welcome back. As we mentioned this afternoon, the House voted to end the record-setting 75-day shutdown of the Department of Homeland Security, passing the Senate-approved bill to fund most of DHS except for ICE and Border Patrol. The Republicans now plan to try to fund those two agencies without Democrats. Last night, the House adopted a Senate budget resolution to begin that part of the process. And today, the Speaker celebrated both of those votes. Listen.
This will relieve pressure from the Department of Homeland Security. Secretary Mullen, who I've spoken to in the last couple of hours, will be greatly relieved. The President will, the administration will. We were not going to have lines at TSA. Everybody will get their paychecks now. We'll get moving forward. And then we will finish the work and finally get, again, for 3 years, with no crazy Democrat reforms, we will fund Border Patrol and immigration enforcement as soon as we return for the work session when that bill is finalized.
Joining me now is NBC News Capitol Hill correspondent Melanie Zanona. Mel, thanks so much for being here. So walk us through how the House got here. Why didn't they pass this bill weeks ago when the Senate bill initially passed?
Yeah, it is a great question, Kristen. There's been a lot of acrimony between House and Senate Republicans over their DHS funding strategy. And just to rewind a little bit here, the Senate initially passed a version of this exact same bill back in the end of March. The very next day, we thought the House was going to pass it, but House conservatives and Republicans balked. They refused to pass it. It took another few weeks for Speaker Mike Johnson to finally commit to putting this bill on the floor. So the Senate repassed it, sent it over to the House. That was on April 2nd. And yet Johnson still refused to put it on the floor. The reason is because conservatives had a major issue with voting for a bill that did not include funding for ICE, for immigration, for Border Patrol. And so what changed this week are really two things. Number one, the White House put some renewed pressure on House Republicans to pass this bill. And number two, the House and Senate both did take concrete steps to set up a process that is going to enable them to fund ICE and Border Patrol through reconciliation. That's a party line process that does not require Democratic votes. But certainly there are questions in the Capitol today, questions we asked of the Speaker of why they couldn't have just passed this a month ago, saved a lot of heartache, saved a lot of these employees from the pain of not knowing where their next paycheck is coming from. Just another example of how these shutdowns have really become the norm on Capitol Hill.
You're absolutely right about that. Just to remind folks, at the root of this was Democrats saying they would not spend a penny for ICE and CBP. So as you say, Republicans are going to fund those agencies without Democratic support. Who are the political winners and losers at this point, Mel?
You know, I think both parties are going to say that they came out victorious in this process. Democrats and Republicans, they really did try to come to an agreement initially before all of this on some reforms to ICE and to immigration. They weren't able to come to an agreement, but we did see some significant changes in the way the administration is conducting its immigration operations, from ousting Kristi Noem, who was leading DHS, to agreeing to more body-worn camera funding for body-worn cameras for these ICE agents who are out in the field. But Republicans have made the point that now that they've decided to go it alone on ICE funding and Border Patrol, they're not going to need Democratic input. And in fact, they are planning a process that would actually fund those departments for 3 years without any Democratic votes. So that's what we're expecting to see next. Trump wants that bill on his desk by June 1st.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.